we're just about to leave and head out for the day, and a little friend has popped over to our campsite. Hello, Mr. Emu. Look at him, just hanging out. Hey, good morning, freediving family. We're heading out for another day on the water, and it is bloody windy today. Like, it is really windy. There was a strong wind warning issued this morning, but we're still going to get out and just see what we can do. So if you're sitting here, it looks like the ocean is super calm, but once you get out past the barrier reef, it's actually wild, and obviously we want to be out there past the barrier reef. Be always mine. So Captain Seumas, what do you expect from today?
I expect a lot of wind, a lot of waves, and a lot of fish.
My name's Adam. I'm an Australian freediving champion, but because of COVID, I can't compete. So while we're waiting for the world to open up again, me and my wife Erin and our daughter Ellie are going on a freediving road trip around Australia. We're going to be living out of our tent and diving everywhere. So subscribe to follow the journey, and a huge thanks to our patrons for making this all possible. You can't see what it's going to look like on the outside of the barrier reef though, because we're protected here by all the land and the barrier reef, but the second we go outside, it's going to get real. We're all getting soaked on the way out here, so we've all just stopped and put our wetties on, and we'll keep going. We're heading to a place called Lighthouse Bay today. It's meant to be really nice, and hopefully it's a bit more protected than where we currently are. The thing is that, like, on the GoPro, it doesn't look that rough.
No.
We've just got to Lighthouse Bay, and it's so much calmer here. Look at that! Look at that nice, lovely ocean. There's no wind howling. We're all comfortable, but we're all soaking wet. Anyway, so we haven't really known like how to properly, like, you know, like attack Ningaloo Reef, as in like how to find the things we're after and what to do. And we've been getting told that we need to go and find like shallow areas with big sand patches and coral around them, and that's where we're going to find like some tiger sharks or mantas, or just like your big sort of aquatic life. So that's where we are right now in Lighthouse Bay. It's kind of like that terrain. Now obviously being closer to shore, as you can see, the viz isn't going to be as good. So worse viz but more animals, and let's just see how we go. The first spot we jumped in, there were schools of spangled emperors everywhere. I've never seen anywhere near this many spangled emperors. It was amazing. These are an absolutely prime eating fish. And if I were diving on the Great Barrier Reef, I would be lucky to see even one or two of these in a day. Besides the emperors, there wasn't much going on the sand flats, so we made our way over to some little patches of coral.
There'll always be someone trying to hold you down. Just forget about it now. Follow your passion, follow your dreams, even if it flows upstream.
I've never seen a sea snake like this in the water before, and I know that they're not aggressive, but my first thought was, if this thing bites me, I'll die, right?
Through the wind, through the storm, one day you'll fly alone.
Well, that was a fun little dive. So that was the sanctuary here in Lighthouse Bay. We're going to go a little bit further south now where the sanctuary finishes, and we're allowed to spearfish, because there were so many just like beautiful spangled emperors that I would have really liked to take home. So let's hope the fish are as docile and happy south of the sanctuary as they are in it. And then as we were driving, we spotted a pair of dugongs from the boat, so we turned right around to see if we could get in the water with them.
The boys are in the hunt for a dugong. Has got eyes.
Any more eyes?
Keep going. There. I'm going. Where are they? They were trying to get away from us. Yeah. We tried to jump in the water with the dugongs, but they were just flighty. As soon as we got in the water, they just like sort of sped off. Anyway, back to the spearing grounds. We're going to show Seumas how to spear. He's never spearfished before in his life. and it's going to be a good time.
First and foremost, here's your safety. So right now it's on. You want to turn it off? Off. Now.
Dave actually manages a spearfishing shop, so the briefing was very extensive, and I'll skip right through it. I shot a spangled emperor and it tore off. Oh man, I really hate when fish tear off. I have no issue killing fish for food, but I have no desire to just hurt or injure a fish. I went back down to do a proper sweep of the area to make sure I couldn't find the fish again. I couldn't though, it had gone off already. But look, a shark will eat this fish and the great circle of life will continue. We didn't see any other fish in the area worth taking, so we unloaded and hopped back on the boat. So that was pretty average. Not a lot of life. I think, like, I don't really know the reef here too well, but I kind of thought that that sort of rubbly, sandy bottom ground would be perfect for spangled emperors. And there were heaps of them in the sanctuary. So we're gonna go further south down to the point just over here, and hopefully there'll be like a lot more structure there and more fish. Here we are at the point of Lighthouse Bay. So we're just gonna sort of like cruise around all this area and just see how we go. I got it on! As soon as I hopped in the water, I heard all the boys call out, GoPro, GoPro, something about a GoPro. And I was like, yeah, I'm wearing my GoPro. It's on my head. What do you want? And I went back to loading my gun, getting ready for a spear. And then, look who just pops out of the distance. On my first dive, I was saying hello to a cod when I spotted a Spanish mackerel out of the corner of my eye. As soon as I saw it, I looked away, because predator fish like this don't like it when you stare them in the eyes. One of the best ways to draw a Spanish mackerel closer to you is to look away and actually swim away from the fish. But this fella didn't come close to me anyway. And back on the surface, our old friend came and said hello, and reminded me that I felt very exposed with this poisonous thing around, and so I went back on the boat and put my gloves on. I don't know why I went in the water without my gloves, just quietly. And then on the next dive, look who came and said hello. I pointed my spear at the sea snake to keep it away, but it actually, it seemed interested in the spear gun. Anytime I see caves or cracks in the reef like this, I think to myself, lobster. And in classic fashion, this is when my GoPro ran out of battery. Now, I was lining this fish up thinking that it was a spangled emperor, but it was not. And the bloody sea snake was still following us. So of course the battery goes flat on the GoPro. So this beautiful orange spotted sea perch. I've never shot one of these before, but I've never eaten one of these before, but they're meant to be beautiful. They're like the same kind of family as a mangrove jack. So I'm pretty amped to fill this up and eat it tonight. Ha-ha! We have dinner! And guess who was waiting in the water for us when we jumped back in? Look at this thing. It's trying to take on some really big fish. This is like a really gutsy creature. Anyway, we were struggling to dive while constantly looking over our shoulder for this snake, so we swam really far away to a different spot and continued diving there. At the new spot, we found a school of red bass. Now, on the Great Barrier Reef, you can't eat these fish because they have ciguatera. I mean, they're not a great eating fish anyway, but the fact that you can't eat them on the east coast of Australia meant that I was thinking seriously about taking one, but I decided not to. And then I changed my mind, because you know what, I've never eaten a red bass before. Maybe they're amazing, and I personally find most people to be absolute fish snobs. So I took one home, we ate it that next day, and it was not terrible at all. I might even shoot one again. Alright, see ya! Turns out, as with most things, the best way to swim with the dugong is to let it come to you. On that same dive, I spotted a good sized one-spot perch. These fish are actually quite good eating, even though they're not really a sought after or prized fish. And with that, it was about time we got back to shore anyway. Seumas, it's time to go home, mate. I reckon you gotta send it.
You just gotta send it.
Yeah, I think it's time to send it, eh?
Did you guys say send it?
We said send it. We're expecting like a really rough ride back because the forecast said it was gonna be nuts. But the swell has dropped off and the wind isn't that crazy anymore, so it's very comfortable. What a glorious, glorious day. And the only thing missing from it was Shane. Our fifth musketeer is stuck in Bali at the moment. But yeah, just thought I'd like to just have a little sit down with you while I have a wee. Just share this moment. And remember, there's only two kinds of people in this world. People who pee in their wetsuits and people who lie about it. Anyway, have a great night. This has been Adam Freediver coming to you from Ningaloo Reef. Next week, we go freediving deep underground in an unknown, unexplored cave. It was stupid, insane. I do not recommend it, but I do recommend watching. Erin, Ellie, Ari, I love you. I'm turning around. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe by pressing this little circular thing down here.
Also, check out this video.
Or you might want to check out this video because you might like it too.